Hey there everyone, welcome. We are going to do some Gen 8 Overworld RNG today. This is going to be a long one, buckle up. So let's start out. First, I want to mention that this is not final. There's still some work being done on tools, some guides that'll come out, but I wanted to show it off as it currently exists so that if you want to, you can do this. And it is doable. I've done a bunch of it. But it's, again, not final, and it does involve doing some things that you might not normally want to do, namely connecting your computer to a CFW switch via your local network. So, if you're not comfortable, wait. I'm sure there'll be a tool. I know they're working on a tool right now that will have more information to be able to make it more like the Den Finder. Alright, so let's go over this method. First off, it works great. It works in grass areas. You can go and do grass RNG, even if there is sometimes a little bit of difficulty with that. You can also do static encounters like these two right here. Those will always spawn the same way. You run away, despawn them, and then you come back, and it's always going to be a Hatena and a Jinx in this weather. But then it also works with the wild spawns that are random, like this over here. It's a pile of swine right now. Let's back off a bit and despawn it. Come back. Oh, now it's a Snom. It will work with these as well, and so you can get some pretty cool Pokemon. Like, oh, there's an Impidimp. So yeah, it works with those really well. And yeah, you can use this to get marks. You can use this to get shinies. One thing to note, for whatever reason, square shinies are the more common kind when doing this type of RNG. It is way more likely that you will find a square shiny than a star shiny. So yeah, that's strange, but yeah, there it is. So alright, you're probably wondering, how do we do this? So first off, let me show you, let me explain how this works. So first off, you are going to need a switch with CFW. I'm going to repeat this. You need CFW on your Switch. So I'm not going to explain how to get this installed. There are resources out there, and I know there are some people that are going, well, that's cheating. That's cheating. I don't want to be involved in this. Well, if you watch my other RNG videos, you've seen that I've used like pcalc or other tools to get the state of RNG generation on my computers through various tools in order to manipulate the RNG. This is no different than that. And anyone who has ever done a shiny den, someone somewhere had to involve a CFW. There are ways to find your den seeds now without that, but in the beginning, it was all through every single seed bot out there was using a CFW switch. So you're gonna have to make peace with that, but yeah. So first off, you need CFW. Second off, you will need sysbot base, which allows your Switch to connect to your computer via local network. And you're also going to need a few other tools, but most importantly, you're going to need these two tools, which is actually the same tool. And so you can see this on the screen now. This over here is the GUI, and again, this is not going to be final. I'm sure they're going to go iterate through it. Special thanks to Lincoln for developing this. But here, this allows you to put in information, and then on this screen right here, it will output the frames to your target. So here we are over here. Again, you can see right here, this is your current frame, and this allows you to search out further. So then there's a whole bunch of other things that are fairly self-explanatory. Shiny charm. Do you have a shiny charm? Do you have a mark charm? Is there weather active? It pretty much always will be active. I can't think of a time when there isn't weather active, but this is like for like the weather marks. Is static. Is it, for instance, is it like this Hatena over here, which will always be the same Pokemon no matter how many times you despawn and respawn it? Or is it more like this spawn over here, where it could be any one of a number of different things? Does the Pokemon have a random held item? This will affect IVs. Right now I can't IV search, but I'm sure that'll come eventually. What level is it? Well, in this case I'm just going to put 99 because I don't care. Shininess. Do we want star shiny? Do you want a square shiny? Or do you just not care? Do you want it to be star or square shiny? Or do you just want any Pokemon? You don't care if it's shiny or not. Again, I want to reiterate, a square shiny Pokemon is way, way, way more common this way. So the star shinies are actually the rare ones in this case, which I know in Dens it is actually the opposite. So just keep that in mind. So then you can search to see if it has a mark or if it specifically has the rare mark. Or you could even just say, I want a specific mark, like I want the time mark, like daytime, nighttime, whatever, or I want excited. I want to search for that mark, or uncommon, or even like weather, whatever. You could choose to specify that. I won't be. And then slot is if it's a non-static. So if you're in one of those spots where you could despawn it and respawn it as something else, you could choose what slot. I don't have full information on what everything is in what slot, but there is this autofill over here which does have some of that information. Right now we're on the slippery slope and we're in heavy fog, and so it says that Snom, Jinx, Piloswine. I know you can't see this window, but Snom, Jinx, Piloswine, Emerana, Adino, Hatena, Impidimp, Duosion, and Mimikyu are possible to come in that slot. So you can search for those too. And if you put in all information and hit autofill, it will put that in there. Anyways, I think that's enough pretense. Let's get into this actual RNG. Now, I'm here in front of the Max Raid Den, which is, I think, probably one of the better spots to start looking for Pokemon if you're going to start doing this method. So you can see here, the reason for that is because a lot of spaces, depending on how many NPCs are in the overworld, and no, you don't count Gardevoir, will advance frames by quite a bit. So to avoid that, this is a good spot to just wait and just sit until, because it won't advance very much without you doing something. All right, so let's bring our tool back up here. All right, here we go. So I'm going to connect, which again, this is connecting to the internet. I'm going to censor out that information that just popped up, but it'll connect to your IP address, which you can see that. Say if you connected, what game you're running, and then your original trainer and ID, which again I'm gonna cover up, but I don't think it matters too much. All right, back to the tool here. I've got the shiny charm, I've got the mark charm. Weather is active. We're going to be going for a static. It doesn't have a random held item. If it does, you can click it. But again, this only really affects IVs, doesn't affect anything else. I want to look for a star or square shiny with a mark, and I don't care about the slot or anything. You can already see here, this 4 right here, because we're connected. These are our advances. So you see we're advancing frames. Alright, so now that we've got everything filled in, we're going to hit generate. And then we're going to see a lot of information popping up on the screen. Whoa, look at all that. Alright, so this here is what frame, what advance will encounter that Pokemon. Here's just basic PID and ID information. You don't need to care about that. Is it a square or star shiny? These are all squares. Again, much more common. Nature. This is your ability, and then here we got IVs, and then last but not least is mark. So as you can see, there's a lot of these nuns. Even though I have has mark checked, I don't know why they're showing up, but here they are. Again, it might be a bug in the code, but the tool itself functions. So let's see, we got weather here. That's not too bad, but it's pretty far ahead. It's 19,000 or something. So reseeding in this game is pretty simple. You just close the game and reconnect it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that a few times and meet back when I have a decent spread with good, well, I don't care about IVs, but a decent spread that isn't too far, and I'll show how to advance frames. So I'll catch you in just a couple of minutes. All right, that was fairly fast. We got it in the We got it in the first reset afterwards. So we can see here we have in frame 972, 973, and 974. We have the square shiny, gentle nature, and it will have the weather mark, which in this case is fog. Okay, so that's great. That's awesome. I love it. So we need to advance to exactly that frame and then spawn the Pokemon that we want. Alright, so how do we advance a whole bunch of frames? Well, first thing to do is you can go on your bike and run around like a nut. And you can see that is advancing our frames by quite a bit. And being on the bike makes it advance faster. Whenever you see basically a Pokemon pop up or move around, it will affect the frames. So, note that. Alright, so as you can see, we're already up to 1137. So we're going to go ahead and do a couple rounds here. So I'm just going to speed this video up and get close. Just enjoy the joyriding. Okay, here we are. We are fairly close. You can see that we are at current advance is 9042, and we're looking for like 972, 9272, 9273, 9274, somewhere in that range. This is where having the shiny charm and the mark charm are really helpful, because it will give you a spread of multiple advancements where you can get that target. So you can see where I'm standing right now, I'm not actually advancing at all. So one thing that you could do is you can open the menu and close it, and you see that advances maybe 7-ish frames or so. So you can keep doing this to get to your target. But what I found is more useful is just kind of going like this, going up and down on the Joy-Con, just kind of jiggling around a little bit. Make sure you don't go too far because you don't want to spawn it. Because if you spawn it and then despawn it, and don't despawn it, like don't go far enough, it just pops down, but it doesn't actually despawn off the overworld. You won't get the Pokemon you're looking for. So make sure you stay far enough back. And okay, I'm just going to keep going like this until we get to our target, or close to it, and then we're going to make more controlled steps. 9255 63. I'm going to go ahead and hide. Nope, not that window. I'm going to go hide the window with everything. But yeah, 9273. Perfect. All right. So here we go. We are just going to charge that Hatena. Go! All right, it spawned. Now let's see. It is a shiny. I know just because yeah. Square shiny. So we know we probably hit the target. We're not 100% sure yet. We'll have to look at its summary. But here it is. So there you go. Right there. We did it. We got a shiny in the overworld. First try. I'm not going to throw a Master Ball at it. Let's just throw a quick ball at it. Okay, great. First try. Alright, so now let's look at its status. Let's see its summary. Alright, so gentle nature. That's a good sign. And look at that. It's got the weather mark that we were expecting it to have. Let's go ahead and add it to our party. Replace this non-shiny Piloswine. So we can go ahead and check it out once more. And you can see it's got the Misty mark. Excuse me. It's got the Misty mark, which is the mark for weather. Obviously, we're in heavy fog. So there you go. You could do this with pretty much anything. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna save the game, and we'll do a non-static Pokemon this time. But we'll do one that can spawn into something else. We're gonna go over to this spot over here. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and defeat this Jinx. Not defeat. I can run away too, because once a static Pokemon is different from a non-static, in that if you go ahead and run away or beat it, it won't come back until the next day. Come on. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get set up. And okay, so now those won't come back, but right here is where I like to stand for this spot. Alright. Yep. So you see that it's that kind of Pokemon. I can't pronounce its name. Now it's a brilliant Hatena. That's brilliant. Alright, so let's save here. And I'm going to go ahead and generate out something I want to catch, a Mimikyu this time. So I'm going to put in Mimikyu and autofill the information. So you can see here, it autofilled based on the area and everything. I still want to do the Hazmark, but you see 95 to 99, so it's actually a fairly rare encounter here. And it does have a random held item. So let's see if there's anything coming up anytime soon. I highly doubt it. Oh, wait, I gotta scroll down too. Does not appear to be so. Well, luckily we saved here, so I'll go ahead and restart a few times and get this back. I mean, for those of you who want to watch a non-static, yeah, go ahead and watch. Otherwise, you've seen how it actually functions in the real world, and you know, I think the proof is in the pudding. Getting that shiny mark Hatena. So you guys can stop watching now, but the people who want to keep going, feel free. Alright, so I had some issues getting Mimikyu, and I spoke to the developer, and they released a new version. So there's now an option for double mark gen. So if you're doing it, this shouldn't affect statics at all. Statics will always follow the same kind of process. But if you are having trouble with the ones that rotate, the ones that spawn in different types of Pokemon every time you spawn them, try using the double mark gen. It won't affect shininess. Shininess will be the same regardless, but the marks might be different, so that's why it's important. Anyways, we found ourselves on two frames here, which 10016 and 10017. Hopefully that will get us that Mimikyu with an uncommon mark, which is cool. And the problem is that Mimikyu is such a rare encounter that it's hard to find slots for it, so that's why we only get the 2 instead of a big chain. So we're gonna go ahead and try to spawn this guy, and hopefully we'll get it, and I'll show it off. Okay, we're almost there. 10, 12, 14, 16. Let's go. It's a Mimikyu. And so keep in mind, this is a 5% counter. Don't think it's shiny though. Oh, okay, it is shiny. It's so hard to tell. That thing is so hard to tell. Also, I just realized now you can't see it. Yeah, it's shiny. It's shiny. Trust me, it's shiny. Alright, let's go ahead and catch it. And hopefully this will have the uncommon mark as well. Will it stay? It did! Great, great. That thing's hard to catch. Alright, let's go ahead and check its summary. So yeah, we know it's a shiny Mimikyu. It is Rash. That is right. And it has the uncommon mark. So there we go. So we got it. We managed to get it. Let's add it to our party. Let's okay, Eternatus, go. So there you go. Now you can see. And also, one last thing to note is that these spots will respawn indefinitely. Unlike statics, where once you encounter, they're gone for the day. But yeah, there you go. You see, that's how you do it. So you can actually those kind of spots. You can target a specific Pokemon. And it works the same way for grass, although grass is a little bit trickier. So I'm going to do another video to go over some of the strategies I've discovered. We're still early days, but I wanted you all to see how this works. So yeah, that's all I've got for now. Go out there, have fun, find that Pokemon of your dreams, especially since you can now get these marks, which you could not do in dens. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comments. I might even just spin up a Discord or something to ask questions for this, because this is pretty complicated stuff right now, although I'm sure that tools will come out in the future to make this a little easier. But thank you all for watching. I'll be back with more RNG. We've got more Gen 6 to do. We've got more Gen 8, and we're going to have those 2 re-releases coming out, the remakes, so there's some exciting news coming from that, I'm sure. So stick with me, and thank you so much for watching. Catch you next time.